Hi, my name is Amanda Wyatt, and my persuasive speech is on single-parent adoptions. In 1970, if you had gone to an adoption agency as a single person and applied for a child, you unfortunately would have been declined. It just wasn't done. In fact, in some states, there were laws against single-parent adoptions. Now, thousands of children in the United States and other countries are living with single men and women who have chosen to become parents and who have been given the opportunity to provide a loving, permanent home for a child. In the last 20 years, there has been a steady, sizable increase in the number of single-parent adoptions. Some people feel that it is the fastest growing trend in the adoption field. Approximately 25% of the children with special needs are adopted by single men and women. The outlook for single-parent adoptions is encouraging as it becomes widely accepted. A number of factors have encouraged the acceptance of single-parent families. Perhaps most is the growing number of one-parent households due to divorce or to unmarried women having to keep their children. A recent New York Times article reported that more than half of the nation's 9.8 African American children under the age of 18, nearly 1/3 of the 7 million Hispanic children, and 1/5 of the nation's 51.1 million Caucasian children live with a single parent. While women are the primary caregivers for most of these children, there are also 1 million single fathers in the country. With so many children living in this type of home environment, adoption agencies have been more willing to consider unmarried men and women as prospective adopters. Most of these single parents work full-time and are financially responsible for their families. While shouldering the economic burden, they continue to maintain the home and care for the children. The issue of personal finances has been less important, with the availability of adoption subsidies in almost every state for children with special needs. This has encouraged those with limited incomes who are otherwise capable and willing to adopt to pursue adoption. Another factor is that single adoptive parents have proven to be very successful in encouraging their own acceptance. The latest research indicates that children raised in single adoptive parent families compare favorably with other adopted children of their age group. It has been shown that it's the instability of the broken home, not the absence of a parent, that causes difficulty for children. The researchers stated that the single parent of this study lead busy lives and seem to manage the demands of the job, home, and parenting with a sure touch. The parents interviewed, who were both African American and Caucasian, had adopted young children, most of whom were under the age of 3. The authors questioned whether a single parent placement would be appropriate for an older child who has had difficult experiences, since more older children are available today. These researchers concluded that single parent homes may be particularly suited for children who need intense and close relationships, and thus particularly appropriate for many of the older children in foster care who are now being prepared for permanent homes. For some children, such a close bond may meet a need and be a path of normal development. Despite the greater acceptance of single-parent adoptions, the traditional view of parenting that a child needs a mother and a father for healthy growth and development still exists. Mental health experts say that the ideal is to place a child in a two-parent home with a mother and a father who are compatible and loving. However, there are many children for whom the ideal is not possible, and many single people who feel that such bias is unfair. Your family and friends may be your first hurdle. They may not understand why anyone would assume the responsibility for raising a child alone. They may ask if you have lost your senses. It may or may not be possible for you to convince them that you know what you are doing. One single parent who experienced the situation advises, if this happens to you, be strong. You can't let people around you tear you down. They may be negative. If this is your choice, then don't let people influence you. Wait until the child comes and you'll see how involved some of your friends will get. Agencies have verifying policies in dealing with single applicants. Some don't accept them at all. Others may put your application and request for a home study or a parent assessment on the back burner while waiting to find a couple who want to adopt. The children offered to you may have disabilities that you cannot handle, or be 12 years old when you requested a toddler. If you pursue independent adoption, a path to adoption with no agency involvement, birth mothers may balk when they learn that you are single. Single men face even tougher scrutiny as they ask intimate questions about their sexuality, motives, friends, and living arrangements. They must be qualified to parent and still be turned down. Going at this alone is not easy. Adoptive parents and agencies is preparing prospective adoptive parents stress the importance of having friends and family who can lend support and serve as a backup system. All the responsibilities that will land squarely on your shoulders, such as caring for a sick child, picking the child up at his or her friend's house, choosing the right school and speaking to the school counselors. Having a strong network that you can rely on will ease some of the responsibility and provide relief from the constant role of a parent. It will also help if you can demonstrate to a potential adoption agency that you have thought through some of the long-term implications of being a single adoptive parent. For example, if you have evaluated your financial situation thoroughly before you even go to an agency. If you have Also, expect questions about how you will handle your social life once you become a parent. And be ready to discuss your feelings about this as an open, straightforward manner. You are not expected to give up your adult relationship when you adopt. In fact, it would be unhealthy for you to do so. However, you will need to strike a new balance in your life as you juggle the new role of a parent with your other roles. It would be good for you to show that you have thought about these issues in a mature, sensitive manner. That's my speech, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.